Hello, beautiful souls. Maybe you are new. Let me introduce myself. I am Eringa. On the passport, on spiritual name is Eringa, and I am here to speak, share my experiences in co-creation with the consciousness, how it works in very specific way. Let me tell you how I learned create from nothingness, from zero point. In co-creation with consciousness, with your higher self or soul or God or someone from above, from other worlds, the main thing is to allow them to go through you and work, use your body. This fossil outfits from this collection. This is the collection, the outfits, which I first time learned how to create without sketching, without preparation. I came in realization, in awareness that I am in co-creation with consciousness without preparation. I am playing. With this corset, I came with understanding that I can do, the creation happens not only through the sketching, which was put in my mind in art academy, and it never resonated with me. I came to realization that I can do it just so, just sit and do it without preparation, without explanation needed, without texts around, long tests to explain what I do. I believe that through art, that finest art speaks on its own, itself. If you would ask me why fossil collection, I can't answer it, I don't know why. That idea about fossil outfits came when I was a student in art academy, and just born in my mind the thought that one day I will create a fossil collection. I didn't know how. I just stuck this thought in my heart, in my mind, and I hold it until I finish my studies and until I pass my searching of my path between academy and first call to create doll. And when I answer the soul's call to create ball jointed doll to serve humanity for its awakening and Gaia, guess what? First thing was to create fossil collection. And in beginning, I remember I was working on sculpting shoulders, and I really had struggled to do them with the symmetry. And I was so tired. I tried. It took for me 2-3 months to work for shoulders. After a few months, I still couldn't figure out it. And with the sculpting of doll shoulders, I learned many lessons in a hard way. There was the moments when that's it, I give up. I don't know how to do it. It's not what I want. I try hundreds times and still nothing work. I want to symmetric shoulders, same but symmetry in 3D, in wide, in height, and all, directions. But I wanted symmetry, and I couldn't get, and I was so tired. I thought I need to do something different to rest my mind around it. And then one day, maybe my consciousness noticed, they took my back, and one day they invited me to create outfits. They already had the fabric, which I bought, I don't know why. And they sit to create, and first thing, from what I learned, I want to use, because I graduated in costume design, it's first thing what you do is sketching, to show your teachers what is in your mind through the pictures. But it felt like it's so not right. it was to have it, takes too long, you know. It feels like I do double job, you know. First I create the sketch, and then to fulfill that sketch as accurate as possible to that idea which is on the paper already. Sketches always for me was limitation for me. In my inner vision, I see the final idea in all three positions, 3D, from any position, and the mood I feel first. And with sketches, it's on the paper, flat, you know, and they can't express it. And they need to learn how to visualize fabric texture. It's so overwhelming. You just shapes, you know, you can't show everything at once from all sides, you know. You need to draw a sketch from front, sketch from side, sketch from back, everything, write the text, this fabric, maybe this fabric. It's so overwhelming for me. It was so long, so not through me. But I love sketches, you know. I like to see how other people do that. And sketches itself is art, you know. But I speak from my viewpoint. It was not for me. And they sit, you know, to do those outfits, and they thought, okay, what I can do, you know. And that, you know, inner knowing came gently, because back then I didn't know importance of invitation when consciousness invites you to do something. I didn't know that. Inner voice, silent voice that said, come to do outfits, you know. And I did, I realized that sketches is not for me. So how to do it without sketches? You know, when you read some, how to say, I try to, everything on the planet Earth, your actions, your thoughts, your questions, your behavior, your understanding, your observations, your conscious or unconscious decisions of what you want to be in the moment is precisely pre-planned. You didn't came randomly on the planet Earth. I say you, but it's actually me too. I didn't came here randomly. I came with a big plan, precisely. I notice it currently as well, many times. Why this question came from nowhere, seems. I have nothing to do with this question, and but it arises me and follows me days by days until they get the answer. I notice that. Maybe you notice as well. Let me know in comments. It's very interesting. And for example, you make the choices. For every single decision we need to make, or make a choices, is the thousands versions to do it. Yet we choose exactly that one, and we make it. Doesn't matter, it's good, not good, serves or not serves, but we did it. We do it anyway. But it's the reason why we do that. And if this all choice of decision is a mistake, then we are aware of it, and next time we fix it, we do different decision. And again, why we do the different, why we are aware of that mistake we did. This choice didn't serve us, but we did, and we noticed that it didn't serve, so we do different decision, and we are aware of it as well. Or maybe not. Still, I notice that we are awakened or not awakened. Anyway, we are guided. Now I understand how I did, but back then I didn't know how I did it. So I will speak from now today's understanding. So I began to touch the fabric in the moment. I have fabric, and they started feel the texture, how thin it is. You play with the fabric, back then I didn't understand that God created everything through the playfulness. He's in nature as a playful child. I read somewhere in the books that God is, and from people who had near-death experiences, they all say that God is laughs a lot and plays. He's like a child. Now I am aware that I do the same, but back then I didn't know. So what first thing came for me in creation of this outfits of fossil lingerie collection was I start playing with the fabric because I had this at hand, you know, and I was in the present and I was looking, you know, I touched with my fingers the fabric, I stretch one side, another side, I bend it. When I bend, I check how thick it is, you know, and the question arises, what I can do with that fabric? That's what came first in that moment. Now I'm speaking very specific, how to create without sketches. This is big deal for those who are creative, not only in physical art, in traditional understanding of art, because we are artists anyway, everyone on the planet is artists, but I speak what I sharing with you now, you can use it in different fields, if in offices, in hospitals, in shops, whatever position you are. Just maybe be aware of the questions that arises in your mind and intentions. For example, how I can do art from my position, how I can create it in the way it would be useful for beneficial for everyone. I continue to play with that fabric. I notice thickness, stretchness, color. I notice that the color fits very well with the skin color and resonates with topic of fossil, because when you open fossil in the stone, it looks the same, like the color is similar to the stone. It's like infused in the stone, that fossil. And then the thought arises, what kind of outside methods already I know that I can use for this fabric. For example, sewing techniques. What kind of techniques I can use with that fabric. So I played with the fabric for a long time until new questions arises. This is creative process, how to do. So I start thinking about shapes, you know. What kind of shape I can get from that with this fabric? Because fabric is soft, can I make it hard shelf? Slowly, those techniques come, how to say, they show up in my inner vision and in my understanding. It seems like from itself. And I think this is something, the little magic that comes when you are in the present moment, the playfulness. So I try to do some kind of shapes with that. I cut that fabric in different shapes, you know. And when I put on doll, I start to see new visions in the interpretations. That's how creativity involves, you know. It happens everything inside. Outside, I have only fabric and I play with it. And it triggers my imagination, what is possible inside me. In that playfulness, and I notice... I speak very specific because I speak from experiences. In that playfulness, when I played with that fabric, in that very presence, I noticed that I am very deep in the presence, that my curiosity is very sharp, and I have no expectations, and I just aware what is in front of me. And I am aware of my inner world and what kind of questions arises, answers, and I was aware. I am aware now, because this is current. I do like what I learned, that I do it now in every moment of creation. the questions that arise, the visions I see inside, the pictures like puzzle, you know, sometimes abstract, I feel the mood of it. And everything happens at once in that playfulness, being a child in the moment which you have something in your hands and you don't know what to do it, you hold it first time, you have no expectations, just whatever. It's all about awareness, what you notice in that moment. And I notice a lot of things. There was a moment when I look on the table, there was mess, cuts off, you know, a lot of, you know, of them, because I cut, I bend, I try to do something, I try to glue, I try to use ribbons, different threads, and I thought, okay, I thought about shapes, about textures, what kind of textures I can do from the same fabric to change its appearance, the look. I played, and I noticed, and I know, and continuous notice. I continue noticing you now the same thing what I did 9 years ago, that in the mess, in the chaos, there is small pieces of guidance that is meant for us to see in the present moment. I don't know, I said clearly, I try to do better, because when you are not present, you not play, when your mind is involved, you can't see those things. Noticing in that full mess on my table that certain shapes popping up. So I take that piece of fabric, cut off fabric randomly, that is popping cut for me. I see that it looks interesting, you know, it's not usual, it's not something different. I took it, and then again, new stage of play. I start to play with that small piece on my doll. I put there on shoulder, on chest, on there, where it fits, you know, it's like you do puzzle. Anything what I create, same playfulness. I don't know what will be next, you know, what's my next step. But one step that I need to take in the now, I always know. And we all know, not only me. Doesn't matter, it's in a creative life, in creativity, or in daily routine life. Next step, you always know. It's in front of you. It's up to you to follow it, to answer it, to make it happen. When I come back from that playfulness, I sit and think, I just created corset from without sketch, without expectations, preparations, just in the moment. And I thought, aha, if I can do this one, I can do rest of them as well. Because in academy we teach that I need collection of 6 minimum to represent your idea. I thought, okay, rest of them I can do. And so I created all collection in 2 days. 6 models, 7. And I was in, you know, wow, I can do this. Thought, okay, if I can do in outfits, I can do the same with doll. I can do the same with painting. I can do the same with anything I want to create. For example, do you know that sometimes is that feeling inside, that feeling that you want to do something, to create, but you don't know where to start, what to do. So that feeling of urgency, you know, to create, to do something is enough for you to start. Just play. What's attract? Which direction to look, you know, look around you and see what's attracting you. Maybe you had a thought which follows you from the last week. No? That's how creativity works. This is my first one, I understand. I try to copy that whole process. For example, now, currently, I started third doll from the wig because I saw image with my inner eyes that is formed in my heart, in this area. Everything happens in this area, just not here. Everything here. You first images comes in your head. I don't know which area of head. In somewhere here comes, and then to prove is the truth, I feel that image in my heart. That's where I know that it's for me and I need to follow it. That image which I see is supposed to feel well, you know. It's like when I say the filter, everything you think, you speak, you see, filter through the filter of your feelings. Check. Put what you see, what you think, put down in that area and filter there. How it feels like that thought. How it feels this decision. You know, is uplifting or not? You feel something or absolutely nothing. So when I saw that wig, I was, wow. I even didn't know how to feel. Even the image which I saw in the head was, wow, that's so amazing, so cool. And I saw that wig with the color, shape, everything. In first was a little bit difficult. It's with that clarity of inner imagination comes with the practice. I had practiced 9 years. Because I speak about 9 years. I don't count what I learned in academy. It was different. I was not awake. I was put in the frames, you know, what was, who follows who, steps by steps. And now I start new method of creativity. I do absolutely randomly, just sit and do. So I saw that image and now I do, and I started to do that wig. I know, I saw the color and I didn't, those fibers which I used before, they worked perfectly, exactly what I needed, but was not correct color. I need to dye them. So I dyed and they couldn't reach right color anyway. I thought I will try to synthetic ones. Now I use silk, and I thought I tried synthetic because color is matching, and I start, and I was in a rush because I really want to throw out that image in the physicality. And I worked, and this feels not right. How do I know that it's not right? Because it feels heavy. It always follows that you forcing something, that feeling. It's not natural flow, ease, effortless. This is creation, how God created. Ease, playfulness, effortless. It seems like what you need, forms, shapes, textures, comes to you from nowhere. But when it's not on your path, when you're not on your path or not on the right direction, it feels that you're forcing, you're making up, you can't see, it's difficult, hard, you can't find time for it, no, because it's not joyous. And it not looks not color may be matching of that wig, but shape is not. Something is missing, you know. So I quit it. I learned lesson. I noticed that how it feels, how, all those signs, and I quit it. So I start beginning with my old fibers. I checked color again, and I found that was my mind who created that. Oh, this color is not good. No, you don't do that. This is not good. No. So I checked again. I compared with other materials of shoes, which I already see as well. I see the shape of shoes. I know what kind of material I will use, color I know, but I can't see yet details, technical details of that, of shoes. So I matched that material with the hair color, with the shape. Everything happens inside, of course, and it worked, matches perfectly. So that's how it happens. I don't know, in my inner vision I can't see all though. I just know one step, and they act on that step which I know, I can see, I can feel it. And this is the wig. With second doll as well was the wig. I started with the wig. Yet for this doll, my consciousness, for third doll, I mean, asked me to create first outfits and then do doll body blushing. Something will be with the body, I don't know what. But is different, because previous dolls I did prepare body, blushing, then outfits, wig, shoes, no, in a row. Now it's different. Consciousness asked me to do wig, next shoes, body, without blushing, without painting, until I finish outfits. And they follow it. I don't know how will look out the doll, but I do what I know right now. And this is how I create every day. First I feel invitation or nudge, pull, push to do something, to create. Usually something that I already know, or sometimes it's not, it's only mood, abstract. And they follow. I see what comes out. Why is my attention? What outside me tries, or sometimes inside me tries to catch my attention. Usually it screams loudest, is brightest, and it repeats itself until I pay attention to it. That's why I say, when you have that nudge to create something, need for creation, to do something different, new, and you don't know what, this is a very good place to be. This is like a blank canvas, and now you act. You can't figure out it without action. You need to start first step. For me, take material, what I know, with that same example which I explained with the fossil collection. I had material, or maybe I have fiber, or maybe I have color, or maybe I already have shape I saw somewhere and I need to work with that shape, or maybe I have nothing physical. I have just idea, abstract, maybe visual idea. So if I have visual idea, so I try to think about what's fit in material world to that visual image inside me. Or maybe this is only mood, so I try to follow that mood. Everything I touch, I see it's supposed to match that mood, to create that shape, that image to pull out, draw out from inside me in physicality. What I see inside that image of idea, it wants to be born into the physicality. So for that, I need to use physical things to create it, materials. And if that, what I see, has the mood, so it's to be same vibration materials as well. Whatever I touch, it's supposed to match same mood as I see inside. I don't know, it makes sense for you or not. It's complicated to understand, because I speak from inside, outside. I try to combine different worlds to express my creativity. So that's how it happens, the co-creation with the consciousness. We are physicality of soul on this planet Earth, because soul has no physicality, yet it wants to express itself, grow, see its limits, possibilities, try new things, and we are tools to help. We need to follow what heart says, what song it sings. Be open, playful like a child, with no control. Be flexible to things that appears in front of us. Okay, for today, maybe there will be few more video series of how I create with the consciousness. I hope it's inspire you, gives you ideas. Please share down in the comments what came at the end of this video. I would like to read it. Okay, bye. See you next time.